Hello, hello! And welcome back as I take a little break from plugging away like a cosmetic surgeon specializing in hair restorations down in the horrible halls of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. And unlike anyone who's ever undergone a hair restoration procedure, things definitely got very hairy for the team last episode. I felt certain that Barbed Wire, Deathstroke, Dazzler, and the Huntress would have what it took to take care of Lair 3 of the Darkest Dungeon, but the one thing I didn't count on was the overwhelming, crushing despair. And ultimately, that's what took them down. Because it doesn't matter how fast or how furious you are, when you give in to despair, there's no hope for success. Which is a sentence that could equally be applied to a certain movie franchise we're all familiar with it. Let's call it The Accelerated and Angry, shall we say. Watch the trailer for that. Trailer for Fast 8. Just reminded me of a corpse of a possum I once saw that had been lying out in the sun bloating for like a week after it got run over by a car. Just a hideous ruined wreck ready to burst from the weight of its own putrescent gases. And really something you should stay far, far away from, because you know it's going to explode into like a big blob of pussy maggots when it finally goes, and you don't want to be near it. Charlize Theron, take heed of that. You don't want to be near it when it goes. What were you thinking, girl? My only question for Charlize Theron and that is how big was the truck, Charlize? The money truck that they backed up to your house and unloaded? How big was it? Are we talking like flatbed pickup, semi-tractor trailer, or one of those giant construction dumps? Because if the truck full of money was anything other than a giant construction dump, you got robbed, girl. You got robbed. And speaking of robbed, our coffers have been quite a bit robbed by our forays into the dungeon and continually buying weapons and skills for troopers who then never return. We're throwing good money after bad, and it feels like maybe we need to take an opportunity to go on a little bit of a cash run. The problem is, when we're doing this cash run, we also need to get some of these troopers up to resolve level 6. So we're working sort of, I don't want to say at cross purposes. What we're actually doing is we're kind of feeling things out. And our goal is to take Alex Summers, Mortimer Toynbee, either Lorna Dane or Rachel Roth, either one, and Betsy Braddock into the old Darkest Dungeon. But before we do that, I do really want to get them up to resolve rank 6, which means we got to get them 8 EXP, and also we want to try and get some cash as we do that. So I think what we're going to do is take a little bit of a week off. I'm not going to take Jamie Madrox into the dungeon because we do have an event right now. Idle Houndmasters will gain 1 resolve level. We don't have to take Madrox in. He can stay behind and he's going to get auto bump. So what we're going to do, we're going to spend a little cash. Toynbee, you don't have level 5 weapons and armor? Neither does Mary McCabe. Huh. We don't really have enough cash to afford doing that either. Maybe our goal then should be not to do everything in one fell swoop. What if we come into the old... Are you level 5? You don't even level 5 skills, Mary McCabe. Wow. All right, we're going to have to rustle up some cash here. Fortunately for us, we do have a ready supply of currently unused, unwanted trinkets. So let's get rid of some duplicates. What do we want to ditch? We got 2... 2 focus rings might actually be potentially useful. I'm not going to get rid of that. I will get rid of some of these Hellions hairpins. So you can go. Yeah. And you can go. Legendary bracers I like to hang on to. Those are pretty good. Duplicates of other stuff we're never going to use. Profane scrolls are actually pretty good. I think we'll hang on to those. We're definitely never going to use a second protective collar. We're never going to use a second sacrificial collar. Never going to use a second sacrificial colon. We may not use that either. A cauldron, we're never going to use. Although, that actually is pretty good. Hang on to that. The Tome of Holy Healing. Is there a chance we could use 3 Tomes of Holy Healing? You know, I wouldn't rule it out. We could theoretically one day wind up doing an all-Vestal run. Accursed Incense. Never going to need 2 of those. Never going to need 2 of whatever that is. Or the Dodgy Sheath. I don't even think we currently have a Highwayman. Medic Screeves, I'm never going to need 2 of those. I don't like Arbalists enough to double up on them. Bleeding Pendant, no. Bloody Dice, no. Book of Intuition, there's no need to ever have 2 of those. Grave Robber only. Bonus, well, that's just bad. The Quickening Satchel, it's just not a good item in general. Anything else we got 2 of? Disease Charm, we can probably spare that. Unholy Slayer's Ring? Sure. We hauled all this junk out of the dungeon periodically for the specific purpose of selling it. So, you know, mission accomplished then. We finally did something right. Don't worry, I won't let it go to my head like Fezzik. I'm a humble man, like the noble Andre the Giant. I'm a humble, humble man. Anything else we need to do? No. So let's gear up the team then. We'll get them fitted out with skills and other assorted accoutrements and get them into the dungeon. Stop doing the flickering horror thing. You know, honestly, the horror is getting a little tattered around the edges. I'm not going to lie. The flickering horror thing, it's scary the first couple times it happens, but after the 70 or 80th time that you've seen it, it just, it loses its ability to terrify. It really does. Are there any other abilities we want here? I think we're good. Betsy Braddock has the Hellion abilities that we like, so let's just get our gear upgraded then. That's going to be old Mary McCabe. There's 8 grand down the toilet, and Braddock. At least we got a slight discount on Braddock, and now there goes all of the money that we just made. So let's get down, embark in the dungeon, find these guys a mission, and try to make some of that cash back. The Warrens? We're not going into the Weald. It's just, no, it's off limits. A short mission would be intriguing, but I really feel like we're going to have to double build. Really what we're looking for here is experience, and a short champion is just not going to do it. A long champion would definitely get us the experience we need. A long champion in the ruins for the Ancestors coat. It's really good. You know what? Yeah, yeah, we can do this. So we got you, Betsy Braddock. You're going to be in our number 2 slot. And honestly, this will be a fantastic test for this group as well. This is doing double duty for us. Wait, what was the name of this team? Stunrise Stun Set. Well, for a group that's comprised entirely of stuns, and I suppose if you fitted them out correctly, every single member of this party would have a stun available. Oddly enough, we are not running any of those stuns, because I don't know, stuns are okay, and I like to Plague Doctor stuns, but most of these characters have a stun. It's just rarely going to work, because they don't really get the bonuses or have the trinkets that will apply to allow those to stack effectively. We do need a skill for Betsy Braddock as well. We've got pretty good stress management, and a long run through the ruins will be a good little warm-up for the team to sort of figure out whether they gel. Are they Magellan? Do they have what it takes to circumnavigate the globe? This is our chance to find out before we just toss them on a ship, send them out there for the glory of Spain. Was Magellan Spanish? I don't think he was. Think about it, man. Maybe he's Portuguese, I believe. Hellion's hairpin, no. What do we want to give you? I like stuff that gives you bonus damage but does not add a monumental amount of stress. Legendary Bracer is the falling into the sort of adds a lot of stress category, which is something we should hope to avoid. Heaven's hairpin is actually good. It gives us huge bonuses in a high light environment and a big stress penalty, and the stress reduction is so significant that I think we could actually afford to go with something that it magnifies our overall stress. I'm leaning towards the Ancestor's Pen. Bonus damage, bonus crit. It's pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. 15% bonus damage, 5% bonus crit. Nothing fancy for our Plague Doctor. The Blasphemous Vial gives us so much extra stress. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It's a huge accuracy bonus, a huge stun skill bonus, a huge blight skill bonus. The stress is problematic. Poisoned herb. Of course the poisoned herb. It's so good. Somebody's going to want to tote the Ancestors map into this dungeon. What is this doing for us? It's pretty good. Do we want to get rid of the Holy Orders? No, because that gives us a big old stress penalty and big death blow resistance. We can't really spare either of those. I suppose we could spare the Ancestor's Pin in favor of the map, or alternatively we could go for maybe a little less healing. But that's just crazy talk, right? Less healing? We rely on our Vestals to carry us through this dungeon. Somebody has got to rock with the map. You know, Betsy Braddock, I kind of feel like that you are that somebody. So we're going to ditch the Ancestor's Pin in favor of the Ancestor's map. In a long dungeon, it seems like a better trade. Yeah, that's fine. Betsy Braddock's going to be doing pretty respectable damage, even without that map. And the Ancestor's map is going to save us so much time and trouble. It's probably more important than 5% crit and an extra 15% damage. It really is. So let's get that sorted. All we got to do is grab some provisions. We are going on a long dungeon, so we're going to provision accordingly. I'm going to take an abundance of food. Your flickering horror thing doesn't scare me anymore, guy. I already told you. It's horror that's worn around the edges. It's faded, it's tattered, and I just you might as well just save yourself the trouble. Just stop doing it. It doesn't terrify me anymore. We're going into the ruins. You know, let's take 2 vials of holy water. We don't really need anti-venom. We've got one guy who could cure blights and bleeds on everybody and one unit who can cure themselves. So I'm not really going to worry about bandages. We will take a key, of course, because we always take a key. This seems good. We have food. We have torches. We've got the things we need. The recipe for success is here. Let's get down, get in, and get to work. Did you know that you could retreat from combat and even abandon quests if things are going terribly and live to fight another day? Yeah, I left a couple troopers just in a dungeon to die last episode, though. I appreciate the tip. It feels more dramatic if Wayne's unit would have said that and used some very, over-elocuted language. The cowardly can retreat from combat and abandon apostate quests if things are going terrifically terribly and live to battle another morrow. My Wayne June impression, admittedly, is terrible. We have to explore 90% of rooms, and this dungeon is extraordinarily large with a relatively bad layout. There's no way we can avoid going down here, and in this dungeon we can probably skip 3 rooms. I'm just trying to consider what's the most effective path. I say we skip this room. Yeah, let's just skip this one. We're going to wind up having to visit all the rest. This saves us a room battle as well. It does also cost us the opportunity to interact with a curio, but I think ultimately that's not that big a deal. 60% chance to disarm. We could get some free stress relief here. You know what? It's probably worthwhile. Let's do it. I want the free stress relief, so take off the Crusader's orders for just a moment, and if you would, borrow this map for a second. That gets us up to an 85% chance. Little bit of free stress relief. We'll take it. It's 8. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that 8 could be the difference between winding up afflicted and winding up untouched as we progress throughout the dungeon. Little gains can make a big difference. Just ask Warren Buffett about how little gains from compound interest can make a big difference. That is, if he can hear you from atop his giant pile of money. He probably can. I do not have a stun skill equipped. Why not? Yep, okay. So we have some bum skills equipped here. Probably because I think the last time we took Mari McCabe into a dungeon, we were rolling a double Plague Doctor build. It's probably not the end of the world. Let's try and kill the stress unit. Good work there, Lorna Dane. You're really helping us in the whole kill the stress unit part of that scenario. Fantastic job. Meanwhile, we'll let Alex Summers start beating on the big guy. You can't Iron Swan from 3rd position, though, can you? Shit. And also, this bleed attack is going to be poorly suited for the ruins. Well, so far, things are starting off swimmingly. Go ahead and give me 25 stress right in the face. Yep, there it is. Oh, good. They managed to throw that at the unit who takes the most stress damage as well. Perfect. Things are not going that well. Ow! Not exactly the start I had envisioned, I'm not gonna lie. Keep piling on the damage and the blight here. That's fatal for you? Nah, he's got 1 hit point left. Well, they're splattering around. Betsy Braddock's taking a little heat. That guy's done dealing. Braddock taking a little heat. That guy's dead, so there's really no reason to hit him. We're just gonna wail on the big guy. We're definitely gonna need a directed heal here for Polaris, who took a pretty resounding wallop to the Snotlocker. Comes the ground pound. This guy can ground pound all day. The stun is unfortunate. So betwixt rounds, we're definitely going to need to work on fixing our skills up here. And I think we focus stress relief. We got a lot of dungeon left to go. Alex Summers is going to do very mediocre damage to this guy at any rate. So stress relief, blight is really going to be what gets us through this. Beautiful dodge from Betsy Braddock. I know your brother's dead, Betsy, but, you know, just because Captain Britain is dead doesn't necessarily mean you can't go on to live a long and full life as the British Superman. Let's just keep going for the Divine Comfort. Big critical, good aggregate healing as well. Even without the critical, we healed quite a bit. And another dodge from Betsy Braddock. She's making this guy look like a chump. Like a chump. Like a chump. We call that the old Fred Durst maneuver, and that should be fatal damage as well. Yeah, you get 18 blight damage per round. No reason to do anything else to that, man. Let's just go for another bit stress heal. Give ourselves rid of 10. Braddock, take the adrenaline rush. I really want to let this guy die from the blight just because I think it's funnier. Also, adrenaline rush does heal us as well, so a little bit of cashish that we're going to pick up out of that. And here's the old sarcophagus, which is completely empty. Onward. A lot of dungeons left to go. Let's get this rolling, team. Let's keep it moving. Walked right into a trap. 10 damage, 20 stress. Actually, the worst part of that scenario. I think this is probably worth it. Shovel expenditure. We don't really have a whole lot of use for crests, but the gold is nice, and we can always throw the crests on the floor later when we don't need them. Empty room. Perfect. Wouldn't mind seeing a few more of those, and also really wouldn't mind seeing some scouting here. We are toting the Ancestors map. I'm expecting to get some use out of it. Tempting Goblet to... Yeah, all right, Havoc. Now, okay, you've cried Havoc. Now let's slip the Dogs of War. That's... I forgot to change skills. Okay, what I'm going to do is just say the words change skills a whole bunch so that I remember to actually do that once this fight is over. That's a significant amount of aggregate stress right there. Roll to the heart. Mary McCabe has seen better days. You gotta be shitting me. Polaris, back-to-back times we have asked you to throw that attack, and both times you have wound up dodged. Nobody can hit nothing. Well, Betsy Braddock is the only person even pulling part of her weight. She's the only one who's even come close. Another Doomsday, which is another massive dose of stress. Yes, we do have some stress relief, but ultimately it's not going to matter if we just keep letting them pile it on, pile it on, pile it on. We can't relieve stress that quickly. Should be fatal damage on that man. It is, in fact, fatal damage. Please kill that Prophet. We cannot have him hit us with another Doomsday. He resisted the bleed, and he's going to live another round. Death's Door. Perfect. Anybody else want to critical us? Anybody? Anybody at all? Might as well. Now's the time. Go ahead and kick us while we're down. Graveyard Slash. Okay. Back on Death's Door. Perfect. Doing fantastic. Swimming. Also, our stress levels not at all completely out of control. We're probably going to have to camp at the end of this, so this is definitely going to happen. We need both the stress relief and the healing. Comes the Doomsday. Nope. He's going to push us over the top. Ah, good. This man needs... He desperately needs to die. Desperately needs to die. He has fatal damage on him, so it's not really a concern. He's definitely dead. That guy is also dead. Everything is just suddenly falling apart. What the shit, guys? You gotta be better than this. See, Lorna, we can't rely on you to ever hit an enemy. Comes a Graveyard Slash. I'm gonna forego any kind of offense here and go for more stress relief. We have got to grind this stress down some. That man's gonna drop dead. We're gonna go for the Battlefield Bandage. I need to get at least one more round of stress relief out of Alex Summers before I'm going to feel comfortable about even setting foot in another room. There we go. 10 more down. Let's go for the big heal. We didn't get the stress delay penalty. I fully expected us to get the penalty for delaying there. We did not. Get another adrenaline rush. I want to buy another round of stress relief. If we can at all do that. Big heals. The critical, nice. A little bit of, okay. Have you do this. Is that fatal? No. Well, he beat us on a speed roll. Taking a Graveyard Slash. 5 damage. Not the end of the world. We're going to Inspiring Cry. Now we're going to get the penalty. We still have not gotten the penalty. Beautiful. Let this guy linger then. Well, he won a speed roll. We didn't get a chance for more stress relief. We have more food than we can possibly use, so I'm just going to get this. Just eat it to get it out of my inventory. Oh, eating when you're not even hungry, Pete. That's not a good idea. Worry about the creeping obesity sneaking up on some of your team. You know, we have holy water. All right, well, I suppose if you... As long as you resist the ashes, You know what? If you're willing to accept the consequences of your own action, Lorna Dane, Polaris, if you, you know, I suppose I can't really fault you if you'd be like, oh, I'm going to touch this in a stupid way, but then you suffer the pains of what your stupidity has wrought. I suppose I can't really find fault. Fantastic. And we're bleeding. Meh. Whatever. That's like the tiniest bleed of all times. I'm not that worried about it. Burn some torchlight. Got a lot of dungeon left to go. Our stress is probably at a level where we can handle at least one more fight. We finally managed to get some scouting out, which is nice. How do we want to handle this little bit? I feel like avoiding this hallway. At some point, we're going to be forced to backtrack just by the way the dungeon is laid out. Never touch books, by the way. Darkest Dungeon, the one lesson they really, really, really want you to internalize is don't read. So we could skip 2 hallway fights if we go over. Yeah, we're going to go this way. We want to try and minimize our combat. I'd like to get this team out of here without requiring actual stress relief between missions for them. So you need some... What's your disarm chance? 70%. Okay, let's swap this up for a second. We're going to need a spot to hold the book so that we can hear. Citrine, you're going on a 4 then. Take the Ancestors map. You take the Ancestors map. And then disarm this trap. Then get the Blasphemous Bile back. Blasphemous Bile. Yeah. Love my Blasphemous Bile. It's not like that regular garden variety bile that just comes out of your liver. No, this bile has seen some shit, man. It's been to dark places and done dark deeds. Possibly dirt cheap. We're hungry? Eat some food then. Next time we find food, we will probably hang on to it. Another opportunity for some free trap stress relief. You know, I think we could probably use a little bit just on Betsy Braddock. That's fine. She can take 8 stress relief. I mean, she has stress just the same as everybody else. Just because she's Captain Britain's sister doesn't mean she doesn't have worries. Doesn't mean she doesn't have troubles. Everybody's got challenges in their life, even if you are a superhero sister. I would say, especially if you're a superhero sister. She's worried about living in her brother's shadow all the time. She's got, you know, things to think about, things to worry about, concerns that other folks don't necessarily labor under. Once again, I forgot to change my skills because I am a monstrous idiot. Okay, after this fight, I'm gonna do it. See, this is what happens. I knew I should have said to myself, just stood here valiantly repeating over and over again, change your skills, Pete, change your skills, Pete, change your skills, Pete, change your skills, Pete. And then I didn't do that because I thought it would be suboptimal commentary. And now, here we are, skills still not changed. Crushing blow, dodge it. Nope. Those critical crushing blows really, they do a number on you. Those do not tickle. Plague Doctor's going to do some fantastic work on those guys. We could heal 5 to 6, or we could heal 2 and get stress relief. I would love to be able to hit this man. I'll take the stress relief. I don't really want the stress relief on Betsy Braddock, but the healing is nice. Little spear thrust. Alex Summers manages to dodge it, though. Okay, sure, that's fine. Kill this man. Pete, why didn't you heal your Hellion? You know, Lorna Dane was hurt, too. That also mitigated some incoming damage. We got ground pounded. Does it have to be a critical on our trooper who has the most stress? Could you critical somebody else, please? That's really all I'm looking for. Braddock actually doing some pretty solid work. And I believe that's fatal damage. 18, yeah. It's not fatal damage immediately, but it is fatal damage 1 turn from now. We're not going to be able to kill this guy before he gets off again, so I say we're basically using Alex Summers as a meat shield and source of stress relief. It's like a ghetto jester. That's a lot of aggregate damage we just took. I feel like maybe we're going to camp. Here, heal yourself. Plague Doctor doesn't need to do anything. Stun wears off. Speed roll 1. Healing. Can we get... Come on, Polaris. Beat him on a speed roll. Damn it. I really wanted to get a divine heal off there. Let's grab the loot. Are we hurt enough? Let's see what the scout says. Let's take a look at the map. We've got a room battle, hallway battle. Ugh. A lot of fight coming up. Do I think I have another hallway battle in me? Definitely not now. You know what? Drink the anti-venom. Let's just throw the camp. It's all right. Here we feast. We'll take our healing. We'll take our free stress relief. We're going to go for a sanctuary, first of all. Prevents nighttime ambush. Gives us a big heal. Gets big stress relief for our plague doctor. Now we're in solid shape. Stand tall. Removes stress. Removes a mortality debuff. It's pretty good. It is vastly time consuming. I think it's worthwhile, though. The mortality debuff on a plague doctor, honestly, is they're one of the better ones you could get. Anybody got a disease? Mary McCabe has a disease. What disease have you got? What's your disease? Also, fix your damn skills. Why can't I adjust my skills, though? Guess we can't switch those while we're camping. All right. Don't want to remove blight or disease. So we're going to go for the cure. Yeah, okay. Take the cure. I got rid of your ennui. Injections shall fortify against any assault on your mortal flesh, which gives you bonus disease resist. And then we're just going to have you encourage Alex Summers. Get him a little stress relief. That's the end of... Well, we still have one time. Can we do anything with one? Anybody? Nope. All right. Well, hey. Went to bed early. Tucked in early. We're going to get a good early morning jump start on the day. Early to bed, early to rise. Makes a dungeon, you know, less full of crawling horrors, undead, and other ungodly, unspeakable abominations. We're fighting twice. Fix the skills, though. The skills got to be fixed. So, Braddock, you're not going to be in position 1, so Iron Swan does literally nothing for you. With the exception that we don't really have... Okay, so what if we just do this? Let's move you into position 1, then. Alex Summers' skills all still work out of position 2. We didn't forego anything for that. And again, we're basically using them as stress relief anyway. McCabe. No, not that skill. So let's get these lined out. We want 1, 2, 3, and then the battlefield medicine. And Lorna Dane, apart from not being able to hit a goddamn thing, does at least have the correct skills on board. So we are here. You know, we could skip this room battle. But if we skip that, then we got to circle back to here, and we got to fight more. I suppose it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But this one has treasure or something, so it's better than just a random hallway fight. In theory, nobody touched that. We have... Thought we had brought medicinal herbs, but I guess I was wrong. Our light level is 70. I meant to use a torch. Oh, good. 2 stress units in a situation where darkness is highest. We're going to get bonus stress. That's okay. Throw stress attacks at the Vestal. She is our most stress resistant. But again, that's absolutely fine. If you have to pick a target, she is definitely the one we would choose. So let's go for the stun. Get you guys bombed out. No more stress attacks from your end. Comes a Ren for the old gods. Beautifully dodged. Havoc is ready to cry said Havoc and perhaps let slip the Lorna Dane. You haven't hit a goddamn thing with that attack, girl. Not a damn thing. We are not going to get to bleed on the skeleton because, of course, they are immune to it. 19 damage from Alex Summers. Solid start. Could have used some stress relief there, perhaps, as well. Would not have been a terrible option. So, skip 1. You guys are going to get plagued up. Got the blight on that unit before they got a chance to go. We don't have fatal... the criticals, though. You got to kill the stress unit. As the fiend falls. We did not have fatal damage on that man, and we were unlikely to beat him on... Okay, no, that's fine. Just every hit is a critical, I guess. Oh, and we're bleeding, too. Anybody... Well, we're going to get 1 chance to heal here. Definitely. We take the big heal, and then I think we have Alex Summers. We're not going to screw around with this. He's going to heal in stress relief. That should have Betsy Braddock back in the fight and ready to do some damage. Go for the stun. Pete, why would you throw a stun at a corpse? I don't want to get hit with a stress attack again, and it turns out that was definitely the wrong choice. Still, they are throwing him at Lorna Dane, who's now gone from basically no stress to 78 stress in a single fight. Could every fucking hit have to be a critical? Every one, huh? Okay. Polaris finally managed to damage the enemy, which is nice. We're gonna adrenaline rush. Sick of that bleed, and I can use the healing. For the rest of this fight, Alex Summers will be doing nothing but stress relief. God, this fight has just gone atrociously. I'm tempted to battlefield bandage here, but I'm not taking another critical hit from a graveyard slash. It's not gonna happen. That guy already has fatal damage. Rend for the Old Gods does suck, but it's way less likely to critical than Graveyard Slash, which apparently has some kind of Titanic critical bonus. Big heal for our Vestal and the chop. There's a good shot from Betsy Braddock. Nicely done. Stress relief. Keep working Polaris over in the stress department. Rend for the Old Gods. Those bleeds are stacking up a little bit. Oh, we resisted that one, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and get rid of it. The critical is nice. A little bonus stress relief for Alex Summers, and we needed it. AoE heal. Everybody is at least a little banged up. We're going to get good mileage out of that. More stress relief. And murder that man. Okay. So weak start, guys, but you rallied it around. You started out slow, but you brought it back at the end. It's good. Yeah, made quite the comeback. Yeah, we knew somebody was going to do this. Oh, only foul-smelling air. You would think foul-smelling air would have some sort of stress involved with it. No need to switch the map around. Betsy Braddock needs stress relief as much as anybody else. We'll just take it in the interest of saving time. But how come foul-smelling air doesn't have some kind of like stress? Like the caustic vapors assail your nostrils. Something, Wayne? Couldn't you spice that up a little bit, buddy? A heal would be interesting. I was gonna try and go for the quick kill on the AoE unit. We're not gonna get it off though, so let's just go for the stun. Once again, Polaris has let us down. What is up with her accuracy though? It is terrible. She's got a... You know, do you have a... That is not at all what I meant to do. I was curious if she had some sort of negative quirk that's causing her to be extra inaccurate. Rain of Whips is not really a problem. We can handle bleeds and whatnot all day long. The stress is more unfortunate, but it's not a huge stress attack. I'm getting real tired of being constantly critical. I think we have taken more damage, stress-wise. I think we've taken more stress damage from criticals than we have from actual stress attacks. Oh boy, we got 4 of it back. We did also put fatal damage on one of those units. Rain of Whips. Everyone is bleeding. Okay. Well, we're just going to do this. This man really needs to die in the very, very near future. So we're going to forego stress relief here in the interest of killing Johnny Stress a lot. And finally, we can make this bleed attack do some positive work for us as well. Although I can't help but notice that he did resist the bleed. Stacking up Blight on the back ranks. That man has fatal damage now. Yeah. Better enjoy that shank, mate. It's your last one. It's the last one you'll ever get. Stress relief for Alex Summers, oddly enough. He's normally so cool under pressure, but this time, you know, he's crumbling. He's like a cinder block that somebody hit with a sledgehammer. Go fuck yourself, Darkest Dungeon. Just straight up go fuck yourself. He's done nothing but hit us with stress attacks, and almost... If not every single one, I think all but one has generated at least one critical. You can eat my dick. Our goal was to try and keep our stress in aggregate low on this mission, and we are failing that mission. You have 9 points of bleed? I'm salty about everything. Stop hitting us with Rain of Whips! That was like 50 fucking stress. Kill this fucking piece of shit. Yeah, we're gonna have to camp after this. Unbelievable. If he beats us on a speed roll, I'm gonna be absolutely furious. He has fatal damage. Cure a bleed. Who's got a 76 billion point bleed? Turns out everybody does. Cure your own bleed. And get some of that bleed back. Give me an AoE heal. I can't believe we're going to have to camp after this shit. Their accursed champion falls. Well, he did more damage to us than anything else we fought in this entire dungeon. Do we actually have to camp? It would be the smart thing to do, but when do I ever do the smart thing? March, friends! Yes, onward to failure. At this point, I've gotten to the station where when books are available, I don't even comment on the fact that there are books anymore. It's just like you so automatically ignore books that I don't even comment on the fact that I'm ignoring them any longer. Lorna Dane finally managed to hit something with her bolt from the blue, and it did about 4 damage, as one would expect. We're gonna go for a more aggressive strategy here and try and kill one of these guys early. When you do get the surprise off, it's always best to try and get at least 1 kill. We did not. 8 damage from Ren for the old gods is not the end of the world. That's a little unacceptable. Don't win a speed roll, Braddock. That's all I want. Definitely don't win a speed roll. Give me a chance to patch you back together. Ouch, that's a lot of stress. This is why I hate surprising shit. Right here. This is why I hate the surprise stuff. We got hit by 8 attacks in a row. Now it's 8. Unfucking believable. Abso-fucking-lutely unbelievable. I hate surprise. I hate it. I wish I could never... I wish that you could just turn it off. I wish that there was a setting that you could be like, I never want to surprise an enemy. If I get the drop on them, please don't force me to surprise them. It is only ever a drawback. Just go. There is no point staying in this dungeon. Everybody's gonna be afflicted. We have... Oh, good. Yeah, now we get a virtue? Sure, of course. Why not? So on this quest, we're going to lose an absolute magnificent fucking fortune. Because we paid a bunch of money to get... Yeah, this is beautiful. This is fantastic. Just drink this stupid holy water. I hate everything. I hate... Specifically what I just hate surprise. I hate it. It's never a benefit to surprise the enemy. Take it. Leave the goddamn dungeon. It is never to your benefit to surprise enemies. You don't ever want to give them the chance to hit you fucking 8 times in a row. What killed us there? We got killed by surprise. Surprise has killed us. We accidentally surprised an enemy. I really wish there was a trinket that you could take a penalty to surprising and be like, you have less of a chance of generating surprise on the enemy. And furthermore, we failed in every possible direction on this mission. We didn't get any experience. We got a trooper killed. And everybody who we wanted to keep their stress to a minimum failed to keep their stress to a minimum. This was perfect. Just a fantastic dungeon. I opened up wide in the darkest dungeon, shit right in my old mouth there. Winded replaced Thanatophobia. That's a wash. Dark Temptation replaced Egomania, which I guess is a wash. Fast Healer replaced... That's actually a downgrade. And Misses the Spot replaced Fear of Beasts, which I suppose is about a wash. No, minus criticals on a healer is terrible. It's objectively a downgrade. Wow, we got fucked every possible way we could. Face, ass, any other potential orifice we might have, and then we were done. They didn't even give us a ride home. They just opened the door and kicked us out. On the plus side, I suppose our Houndmaster made it to Resolve rank 6, so bully. There's that. Betsy Braddock met her final fate during the quest. Well, here I was saying about how you could live where your brother died, but turns out that was not to be the case. And also it turns out now, one key member of the team I was planning to take into the darkest dungeon is no longer with us. Now we gotta try and figure out what we're gonna counterbalance that with. I'm not entirely sure. It may be the point where we have to start trying to train up some newbies, I guess. Let's check the stagecoach. A lot of level 3s available here. which is good because we have 8 open slots. So we have a Vestal, Drool. I would like to know what you actually are rather than just see the twisted face of some horrible abomination. We have 3 Plague Doctors. Probably good on that then. Another Houndmaster. I mean, I guess. Grave Robbers are lovely. I will always take a Grave Robber. A Highwayman. At this point, anybody who's level 3, I'm just going to pretty much take them. I don't know if we're ever going to send some of these troopers into a dungeon on a mission. But we could build a Lobby team, I guess. And probably that's what we're going to do next episode is try and rally some around. Try and recover a little bit. We're really full on tilt. People are dropping like flies, man. Just going down, down, down in an earlier round like a Fallout Boy song. It's getting ugly around the old Perfidious Manor here. I don't know. I'm going to go think about my life. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see Surprise unavoidably kill more troopers because they just get to hit somebody 8 times in a row with no intervention on your part, you might consider subscribing as well because, I don't know, at least 5 of the troopers we have been lost to that exact mechanic. Right now, though, thanks very much for watching, and I'll get Surprise killed again soon.